say I ain't no good, and I'm crazy as a loon. Cause I shave my head in the morning, pick guitar in the afternoon. Just like old Chief and Charlie, I like to lay around in the shade. Well, I ain't got no money, but you better believe I got it made. Cause I ain't asking nobody for nothing if I can't get it on my own. If you don't like the way I'm living, just leave this bald-headed country boy alone.
Before this episode of the Josh Terry Podcast gets started, we want to thank all of our sponsors. 3B Construction and Roofing, Your Choice Healthcare, Lori's Dive-In, DPF Alternatives, and they have a new address, by the way. It is 288 Eatonton Highway, Gray, Georgia, 31032. Nobles Networking, Project K9 Hero, who is a lifetime sponsor of the show. If you would like to figure out how to be a lifetime sponsor of the show, please message me now. Cottonfield Grill, Pearl Promoting, Backroad Park and Event Venue. Don't forget, November 10th and 11th, we are over there for their Veterans Day celebration. Friday night is Tristan Baugh and Confederate Railroad. And on Saturday is Miss Ella Langley and Trey Lewis. I will be hosting the event. It is going to be an awesome time. Do not miss out. Tickets are available now. Cashman's Pub, Down Yonder Hatco, Deep South Chemical, and we're bringing back an old feature that we haven't done in a while. Our Spotlight Song of the Month, an artist spotlight, is on Mr. Hunter Mounce and Kyle Austin. They just put out a song called Collard Greens. I really, really like it. I'm going to play it for you in a couple weeks whenever these boys come and do the show. So do me a favor now. Go follow both these guys on social media and download our Song of the Month, Collard Greens, by Hunter Mounce and Kyle Austin. Better than basic. Miss Erica does our website. She does all our graphic design. She does everything for us. Please go check them out now for any of your social media needs, marketing needs, whatever. And check out thejoshterypodcast.com, our official website. Grab some merch while you're there. And please leave a review and rate the show if you love this. Please help me grow. All I need you to do is take 5 minutes out of your time, go to Apple, Spotify, however you listen to the show, and leave a review. Leave us 5 stars. It helps us more than you know. I'm grateful for each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for making the show what it is. Now, I'll stop with the business side of the show now, and we'll get to talking. Thank y'all for listening. Enjoy the show. What's up, folks? Thank y'all for tuning into the Josh Terry Podcast. So, if you listen to the ads at the beginning of the show, then you know that we have a showcase, spotlight song, whatever the hell you want to call it. And this month, I've got one of my buddies. I'm going to tell y'all a funny story about him in just a minute. But it's not even really about him. It's about some dumb shit that I did. But anyway, I want to introduce y'all to my guys, Hunter Thomas Mounce and Mr. Kyle Austin. How y'all doing, boys?
Doing good, man.
We're doing great.
I've heard several people that have heard where we advertise the collard green song, and they like it, dude. Y'all are smooth.
Dude, I love it. I love that.
Yeah, it's hilarious on TikTok and stuff. Everybody's been calling us Garth Brooks and who's
Trace Adkins.
Yeah, Trace Adkins.
You know what, Hunter? You do kind of got some Garth Brooks going on now that I'm looking at you.
Yeah, you know what's weird? And I'm going to say this because you said there's no limits on this show.
Yeah.
I'm not a Garth Brooks fan. I do not like Garth Brooks.
I
know that's going to. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't much care for him as a person.
Man, I mean, I'll admit that he's got some great songs from the 90s, but yeah, just for whatever reason, not necessarily my cup of tea. It's so ironic, though, because everybody's like, man, you really got that Garth influence. And I'm like, I have no idea how it came about, but hey, I'll take it because he's still relevant all these years later.
Yeah, I don't know how relevant it is. I love his music. I do, but I think he's kind of batshit crazy now, and I used to wouldn't have thought that.
I know Tom Segura has a real I don't know. Have you heard that?
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
And I am obsessed with Tom Segura.
Yeah.
I even thought other night my daughter had a banquet for softball at school or whatever. And after we got done with the softball banquet, it was kids versus adults playing dodgeball in the gym. And I had this moment walking in there, and I was like, I'm gonna hurt myself like Segura did when he went to dunk or whatever and broke every
You're
bone
gonna break
in his
your
body.
elbow and your leg.
And sure enough, I reached down with my old fat ass just to pick up a dodgeball, and my knee buckled. And right then I was like, I'm not ending up like that. I'm just going to sit down. Segura's like the fucking king to me.
Yeah. He's hilarious, dude. He's
But,
always been funny.
Yeah, so if he doesn't like Garth Brooks, I'm kind of on his side. I'm kind of on his side. And if y'all don't know what we're talking about, just go look up. Tom Segura has said that Garth Brooks got bodies buried everywhere. All kind of. Garth has blocked him on every form of social media. Like, it's bad, but it's funny bad.
Yeah.
And the video where Tom Segura is like getting injured playing basketball or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I guess Garth like tweeted it out or was talking to somebody and was like, every time I see this video, it makes me smile.
Oh my God.
Have y'all seen the video? He cripples himself.
Yeah, it's bad.
I've never identified with something more in my life.
Dude, his arm is flopping around like a loose tube sock. It looks terrible.
It's so bad. Well, Hunter, the thing I was going to tell you is when you did the writers round for us at Live Oak. Yeah, it was so good.
Thank you.
But there was these two. I don't know if Kyle, you might enjoy this. There was these two women that were sitting in the front of Live Oak when we were doing the show. They wouldn't shut the fuck up. I'm talking about they would not. And Hunter, I always say the name of the song wrong. What is the song about is it Kindergarten Radio Clown?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. They would not shut up, and he's out there, he's pouring his heart out, telling a story behind a song, and they're all but saying play Freebird or something stupid. Like, it's a writer's round. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. And they would not hush. And I started throwing my limes because I done got drunk off tequila at them and get them to shut up. And I'm telling you, when I got some ugly Instagram messages from them, they were like, I don't know who you think you are. And I was like, bitch, he's sitting there telling you the saddest story of all time. And it's meaningful. Shut the fuck up. Listen to the song.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have been more honest if they were just like, hey, sorry, I'm a narcissist. I had a flare up at your show. My bad.
Yeah.
Because we use mental health as an excuse for everything else. So why not, use it for that?
I definitely use it for everything. But I am crazy. Yeah. I hate when people do that shit, dude. Like, and I used to think, like the guy that's like my big brother, Lee Tucker, right?
Freaking, yeah. I love it.
He's literally why I have any connections with anybody. Yeah, I mean, he's literally my big brother. And I used to see him at shows. He would stop playing, even if he like dumb shit. Like he would be at a bar somewhere and him just playing covers and shit. And if people wasn't paying him attention and they were asking for other shit, Lee would be like, look, y'all can get the hell out or y'all can listen to what I'm going to play. Either way, just shut up. And then I've seen Bobby Pinson chump off people on stage. I've seen Vaden do it to folks in the crowd. And so now I'm just like, if you're not respecting what's going on and somebody's pouring like it's a meaningful song, something that you ought to shut up and listen to, I done got bad about this. I'm going to tell you to shut the hell up.
Yeah. Man, you're turning into Aaron Lewis in your older age there.
I hope so. That's
what he's striving for.
Yeah, no shit. That guy is cool as shit to me. We was at his house not long ago, and everybody knows he smokes weed, so it's not like I'm telling a fucking story that I'm not supposed to. I don't smoke weed that much. Like, I'll hit a pen every now and then. I'm more of a mushroom guy. Like, I like microdosing. It's the best thing of all time to me.
Okay.
But I was over there, and this dude's got them like packed like cigarettes, already ready to go, and it was one after another after another. Next thing you know, I'm talking about stupid stoned, and I don't even like getting stoned. I like relaxing. Yeah. And somebody ended up taking some of us, the losers, from his house, and I was miserable. I was so miserable. I just wanted to fucking be in front of a TV and chill.
Yeah. Oh no, we're getting thrust into a social situation after that.
Well, it's gotta be awful. I love losers if like Justin Andrews is playing or somebody like outside of that. I don't even want to go to losers no more.
Yeah.
There's not many places I want to go.
Dude, you're talking about Lee. I didn't realize till I looked up I didn't realize till I looked up you're Cochran, Georgia,
Yeah.
that you're right by Kathleen. And I was like, okay, that's probably how he and Lee know each other, because y'all are pretty close to each other geographically. So is that how you guys know each other?
No,
Okay.
this is probably my daughter just turned 12, so she couldn't have been no more than 3 or 4, if that. Like I've known Lee 10 years now.
Yeah.
I was having a house party, and I had recently met Nate Kenyon by accident at a music festival, and he was living down close to where Lee is, in Baxley, Hazelhurst area at the time. And I was having a house party for something, and I had asked Nate if him and his band would come play it for us back then, and they did. Well, Nate was right before the show started. He's like, "Man, I got some buddies. I'd love for you to meet. I just think you'd get along with me. Mind if they come?" And Lee Tucker shows the fuck up, and he's got, I don't know if you ever seen the way he dresses. He's the worst dressed individual of all time, besides from Mark Oriot. Like nobody can outdress Mark Oriot when it comes to looking homeless. But Lee
Yeah.
shows up. He's got loafers on. He's got blue jeans on. He's got a shirt tucked in. He's thinking that he's going somewhere nice, and he doesn't realize that we're trash. Like we are trashy ass people. Where he was coming, he gets out of the truck looking all like an insurance salesman like he used to be. He's got his guitar in one hand and a bottle of moonshine in the other. And about 45 minutes later, we were best friends. Like
Yeah.
it was great. It was but then you talk about Kathleen, when he was going through that breakup and when he was dating that girl, we were friends. So I
Ah,
got to experience all of fuck Kathleen. Like I
yeah.
lived it with him. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's he's one of my favorite people of all time though.
Yeah, man, he's good. He's a good feller for sure.
Yeah, I think that's how I think he's who introduced me and you, matter of fact.
He is. So we're at Live Oak, Kyle, and Lee goes, Hunter, there's somebody I want you to meet. Man, he's so connected. He's one of my best friends. I'm gonna introduce you. So walk over, don't know who I'm meeting, and it's Josh. And I'm thinking, I've already met Josh 2 or 3 times. And then he says, hey, this is my buddy Hunter. You need to have him on your podcast someday, Josh. And Josh goes, Lee, you've already introduced me to Hunter 2 or 3 times. And we both just had that moment. We were just kind of roasting him, but
Yeah,
yeah, it was a good Live Oak moment.
I'm kind of glad he doesn't drink that way anymore. He's a lot. He is like, I know that I'm a lot when I drink, but when Lee gets on one, he's the funniest person I've ever met in my life too. When he gets in that certain level of drunk where he is just roasting and talking shit to absolutely everyone. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, but he can get out of hand real quick.
Can't we
Well,
all?
I was gonna say, yeah.
oh, but anyway, let's get on to you guys. Fuck Lee Tucker. He, yeah, he always gets his head, if it wasn't already as big as it fucking was. Every time he hears like shit me sharing stories on the show or whatever, he'll be like, "Why didn't you just ask me on?" And it's like, Tucker,
Yeah.
because your fat ass wouldn't have got on. Like you wouldn't have got. He's still not out of bed yet. He's still somewhere right now, cuddled up with his dog and his old lady. But anyway, tell us about collard greens.
All right, collard greens. I've got a lot of drunk ideas on my phone, and sometimes it gets to a point in writers' sessions where we are just not getting on to anything, and so I've got this notepad in my phone that's got all these really dumb ideas that will get laughed out of the room.
The most ridiculous shit you've ever heard.
Yeah. And so I was reading all these ideas off, and finally there was one that was she was raised by collared shirts. I was raised on collard greens, and I don't know where that came from. I don't know what it was, but it just was in my phone as like a drunk idea I wrote down.
Well, you and Nick, because we wrote that song with Nick DeLeo, but
I like him so much.
You and Nick tried to stick that in something, right? And then
Yeah.
you couldn't make it work, and then you're like, let's do that collard greens idea.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not a very good guitar player, so I'm like always taking lessons, whether it be online or in person. And the lesson that I'd been taking that week was a ragtime finger picking lesson. And I was picking that that pattern or whatever, which it sounds a lot like the pattern that's at the very beginning of the Collard Greens recording. So between that and then me mentioning that idea, Nick and Kyle, who are way better musicians, they actually made it into something. And then we were like, all right, what's the first line going to be? Might as well be the line, So she was raised by collared shirts. I was raised on collard greens. And then we just kind of started building the story from there. We're like, okay, so what happens next?
Yeah, we were all talking about like, what does that mean? She was raised on collared shirts. I was raised on collard greens, and we were all talking about those relationships where girls were trying to make us wear hey dudes and or boat shoes and khaki shorts and stuff like that. I always make the joke whenever I announce a song. They wanted us to drive Toyota Camrys, and like this, it's just not us. Like we drink Busch Light and whiskey, and we like to go honky tonking and do dumb shit. And
didn't you know that's what you're supposed to look like if you're in Nashville now?
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, if you ain't got glitter on, you got to have boat shoes.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm actually wearing camo Hey Dudes right now. So,
yeah, he is.
The Hey Dudes aren't that bad. The Hey Dudes
I'm just going to let you know I'm right here, guys. I'm literally right here.
Hey, it could get worse. It could be full blown Sperry's.
Yeah, the Sperry's are the ones I meant, not Hey Dudes. But yeah, we were kind of talking about that, and like just those relationships where girls were trying to change us. We're like, man, like why do we always end up with those girls, like the ones that want to change us, and why can't we find the girl that wants to shoot the whiskey straight, or anything like that? And we kind of went that direction
because they're usually in prison.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
they've got a couple of domestic violence charges themselves.
Yeah, they're either there or on their way.
Yeah. Well, I've always said my favorite DMV is, domestic violence. I thought that's what it stood for a number of years, actually, until I went and got my license plate renewed the other day. Anyway.
Yeah, I've yet to meet a woman who likes to drink whiskey that is not like she's mentally unstable. There's not one. Yeah, I haven't met the one that was just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go have one casual, old fashioned, and then we're gonna go home and we're just gonna call it a night. No, it's like, no, we're gonna do that, then we're gonna do a lot of drugs, and then I'm probably gonna hit you, might wreck a car. Yeah, it's like okay.
Whatever. Yeah. Whenever you run into those girls, there's this comedian named Nick Swardson. He has this joke about Jack Daniels commercials. It says in the commercials, it says Jack Daniels, drink responsibly. And he's like, nobody's ever drank Jack Daniels responsibly. Nobody's ever been like, hey, let's go home, turn off the lights, light some candles, cuddle up on the couch, catch up on some Modern Family, and just chug this handle of Jack Daniels. Nobody's ever said that.
Yeah. What's crazy about Jack Daniels is it's the only liquor that if I drink, like it's over with. Like there's something about Jack Daniels and I can't explain it. I turn into a different human being on it. And I love whiskey. I will drink the shit out of Buffalo Trace or Eagle Rare or anything like that. There's something about Jack Daniels that just brings out the psychopath in you.
The devil's got you nuts.
How long ago did y'all write Collard Greens?
A year ago, right?
Probably a year ago at least. Yeah.
Okay, you took your sweet time putting it out then, didn't you?
Yeah.
Man, it is just so expensive to record freaking songs. And like, I don't know, you probably know that at this point, but I mean, it takes a while for stuff to finally reach the public. Like I'm sitting on a handful of songs right now that it's like, I don't even know when I'll have the money to go record them because I'm trying to I'm buying a house right now with my girlfriend. And yeah, it just seems like it takes forever to get it out on the press.
Yeah.
Or off the press, however that saying goes.
Have y'all got pretty good feedback from it so far? Well, it's been out like a little over a month now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've had pretty much all positive feedback. We just got to figure out how to get more streams at this point. That's my biggest problem, dude. I don't know how people get these millions of streams and land on all these playlists, but whatever it is, it ain't happening for my stuff for whatever reason.
Hey, look, as someone who is just lucky as shit at social media, not strategic, just dumb fucking luck.
Yeah.
You can go by the analytics. You can go by the quality of video. You can go by everything. It is literally right place, right time. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is keep like I've got to the point now to where I used to only post like a certain amount of content a day, and then that would just be it because that's what they say you're supposed to do. But then I'd be like, this video is fucking funny. Like, there's no reason why this video right here should have X amount of views when I'm seeing other stuff and it's got way more. And it's literally, I will leave that video up, I'll repost it again later on, and if it gets more views, then I'll just take down the original.
Right.
You just got to keep like, only thing your analytics really do help you with is the time of day to post. But still, if it's a great video and it gets shared a lot right off the bat, it's going to blow up. You just got to find something funny to do with it. I know one thing that's kind of aggravating to me, but also I see why people do it now. There were a lot of people, and I don't dislike this guy or anything. I've actually kind of grown to kind of like his music more, but Bailey Zimmerman. I wasn't the biggest fan of Bailey Zimmerman to start off with. Like it just seemed like it was blah. Like it was just another dude. Like I don't know how else to put it. Like nothing stood out about it. Now I kind of like it. I kind of like his vibe and everything. And I've met him at the Creative Vets golf tournament and at Live Oak one time. Dude was super nice. That'll always change my opinion on somebody. But I know folks like him were putting out clips of songs, like just the verse or just one chorus before they ever even wrote the rest of the song. And if it blew up, they went back and wrote the rest of the song.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like they'd be like, look, if it ain't going to stream, I'm not even going to waste my time with it. I don't really like that. I mean, I get why from a financial standpoint you would want to do it, but I'm more about like the legacy. I like the people that's going to write a song now that in 10, 15 years, you're still going to be talking about how damn good that song is. You know, Jamie Johnson definitely has probably the worst social media presence of all time, and I'd rather listen to Jamie Johnson music or Bobby Pence's music or somebody like that over damn near anybody else because I feel like it's real, it's good shit.
Yeah,
it's funny you say that because you know you can get frustrated in the immediate whenever you don't see the results that a lot of people are getting, but whenever like there's a song that I put out back in 2016 or 2017 that is still like my top streaming song. And it's like, you know, you start putting 10 or 15 years between you and a song being out and it consistently just keeps getting streams. It's like, that's kind of, you know, that could maybe lead to some healthy growth over a long time period. And it's like, you know, there's something to be said, I think, for people still listening to something that came out that long ago. You know, like you just said, that longevity maybe. So
well, I think it's relatable. I think if you're just pushing to get, because I know a lot of artists are just pushing to get something out. They feel like they have to have something constantly out. But I mean, and I know this guy's fucking huge, and this is probably a horrible example for what I'm about to say. But I mean, you look at Chris Stapleton. How many solo albums does he have? Like 3? Is it 3 or 4? And he takes so long in between. He don't drop no little like nothing, no singles or anything in between. He waits till his album's done, then he starts leaking shit. I think that's where, but he has the benefit of doing that. I mean, that's the thing. Like he has the luxury of being able to do that. But I think that's where you get the good stuff, especially like when an artist is first getting started. Like whatever you put out in 2017, you're still doing it your way, and you're not doing it anybody. Like you have no other influence besides for what you want to do.
Right. Yeah. I think the idea of that is kind of like we were talking about is the content. You know, the content's important. That's how you get noticed. And you know, obviously you can't repost a song, but like I feel like that's what it is, you know, if you're not getting noticed, you're just putting out content, which is the music, you know, the songs you've been writing. And that's why I feel like a lot of younger artists are just like, you know, every 3 months it's a different single, you know,
Yeah, well, I'm big on the dive bar guys, the smoky room guys, that have to pay their dues. I just think there's something about that blowing up right off the bat with a video or something, it's whatever. I mean, good for them by all means. I'm sure a lot of people would take it, but I think there's a lot of lessons that you learn and a lot of ideas for songs and a lot of things that you only can learn the hard way.
Right. Yeah, the guys that, you know, kind of get thrust into success like that from like one video or something like that. They're almost like Disney Channel kids, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Can be.
yeah.
I definitely, and my thing too is you don't ever hear any great story without some kind of struggle. Like,
Absolutely.
you think, I mean, you think Eminem just, no, never struggled. It's like, no, dude, he grew up in like a trailer park, and there's just so many examples of like stories like that. I know Jelly Roll's the hot topic these days, but like, he was living in a van. And it's like people who are doing great things really, really had to struggle at one point or another. So, maybe we're just kind of in the middle of that. I don't know. That's what I like to think.
Yeah, I
So,
admire the people that do. I admire the
yeah.
people that struggle, because one of my favorite sayings I've ever came up with is God allows you to go through hell so you know what heaven's worth. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta learn shit the hard way, but I think learning it the hard way has everlasting. Like, it's going to, when these flash in the pan folks, when they've done fell off because they don't know what to do no more. Like, you know how many people I've seen get so depressed because their first video, like, or their first song they put out, got 1 million streams because it blew up on TikTok, and then the second thing that they did got 500,000, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sad. 500,000 is still a hell of a lot." And
Yeah.
then the next one they put out, it's got half that, and it keeps going to where you've put out 4 songs now, and only 100,000 people listen to it, and that's still a big ass number. But when you
Yeah.
start off at 1 million, they don't realize 100,000 is just as good. They get depressed and they don't want to do it no more. Like, they don't have that instant gratification.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas when it's the reverse, where you're used to getting,
2,000 streams.
Yeah.
2,000 streams, it's like, man, you'll just take whatever you can get. And like, you start to become way more grateful for success too, because you remember what it's like, when nobody was watching or whatever, yeah, I definitely think that's a good point, Josh.
Yeah, I say it all the time. Like, if I was given early success, I didn't start my career that I'm on now till I was like 28, 29. But if I would have started this at 20, 21, I'd have Johnny Manziel the shit out of myself. Like, I 100%. There probably wouldn't have been a documentary because nobody would have known who I was. But yeah, I would have went downhill super quick. I had to mature to where I could handle some of the shit I'm going through. Like, otherwise I would have just been like, fuck it. Let's just dive bomb the shit out of this situation. Let's just ruin myself and everybody involved. So yeah, you have, like, for me, I know I have to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever learned a lesson the easy way.
I know I haven't. But
So
go ahead.
no, I was just gonna ask you, well, I mean, what's new in your world? Seems like you got a show that's always in the top 100 or whatever, and it just seems like you're doing a lot of good stuff.
Well, it's top 1% in the world. I wish I could say I was in the top 100. I'd be making a lot more
Okay.
money. I grab it, like, there's 5 million plus shows now, and I go back and forth between 1,200 and 700 right now. But we've been as high as 73 overall. But that was like 3 bomb ass episodes back to back to back, and it put us up there to where, hell, a lot of the guys, we've been in front of, I can't remember, there's a screenshot somewhere on my phone, but like Michelle Obama's next to me in the ratings. Who is it? The guy who does Dirty Works that's on TV or whatever was next to me. Then there was some other big like comedian that was right there. And it's like, oh, I'm in front of you guys. I'll never get to say it again. Y'all kiss my ass probably. But yeah, it's cool. There's not really a whole lot of new stuff. It's just, going back and forth between Georgia and Nashville, doing the stuff at Live Oak, our writers rounds and all that kind of stuff, getting new artists that haven't been on the show like you guys. That's my passion. Is I've been blessed with a social media following that I don't really care for. That's not why I wanted to. I wish I could get up like it used to be in radio. Get up, go do my show, go home. Like, I don't like all the sideshow shit, to be real with you. But I feel like because where I'm at and my platform, I have to use it for people that I think are good people that deserve to have the same platform, if not bigger. So like I try to find artists that I actually really appreciate, that I like just everything about you, and get them on the show to where, hey, some TikTok star or whatever you might want to call it, yeah, they don't have no trouble getting into country music and putting out a song and getting 1 million streams. But fuck them. Let's get people that's been doing country music for a while, and then people's got the real heart and desire for it. It's not the cool thing. That's what I get pissed off about. If you had a desire to do music before, like you blew up on social media, you'd have been doing music before. Like don't do it now just because it's cool and auto tunes out there. I don't have no respect for that. Like, so I try to have people that I feel like deserve recognition, that because even Hunter, you're a firefighter, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See, like I'm big into first responders and stuff like that. To me, I'd rather you have the recognition than me. So that's really where I'm gravitating or pushing the show towards now, is picky about social media personalities and more about the artists that I think are good people and my type of music too. As I get artists all day, every day sending me stuff, and if I don't like your shit, I'm not gonna have you on the show. And it's not that your stuff's bad; it's just not my cup of tea. I have to walk a fine line there because I have pissed several people off with that statement.
You just don't strike me as the kind of guy that would ever piss anybody off. So
I never stopped. I had this dude one time. I won't say his name. He does country rap, and he was around some other people at the time with me, and they were talking about, yeah, man, let's line up a show, let's do this and everything. And the dude, I was nice to him, as cordial as I could be. And anyway, I was like, yeah, dude, we'll exchange numbers and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, I mean, this is a Red Door night. Like, this is shit faced at Red Door. And I was like, yeah, I'll get you on the show some point in time. I didn't know his music, what it sounded like or whatever. There was just like, this dude does country rap. Dude, I listened to it the next day, and I was like, if this guy texts me, I'm gonna have to be a dick to him. And he did text me and was like super excited about doing the show, because when I get drunk, I will tell you that you can do the show.
It's a for sure deal.
Yeah, it's for sure. And I was like, dude, no offense, like this just isn't my cup of tea. Like I can't sit here and tell everybody that I like traditional country, that I like outlaw country, that I like storytelling, and then get you on the show and it's completely off brand to me, especially if I don't like. Now I've met some people. I can't remember. Fair and Rachel's introduced me to this dude. Ryan Charles, maybe. I think he's got his dude's cool as shit, but he does like the country western, but it's rap. I think it's Ryan Charles, but it's kind of kid, like it's cool as shit. And like I would have that dude on the show because I could actually like vibe to his shit a little bit. So I'm not a complete asshole. It's just some people just they don't resonate with me, and I'm very quick to piss them off.
Yeah.
Well, we're grateful you had.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Thank you, sir, for having us.
Well, Hunter, like I said, he's just always been nice as hell to me too. Like he's always been cool, and I appreciate him coming and playing one of our rounds. I think you actually played one of our rounds before they really started getting momentum too. Like, so I appreciate anybody that would come out before then. Like, I don't even remember what month you played. It's been several months back now. Yeah. But like now it's transitioned into it's an event. Like people come, we've got social media personalities that come. The artists are growing. Like November the 8th. Are like the last two rounds are Ashland Craft, Brett Cherokee, LV Shane, what the hell's his name? Sorry, Ryan Nelson. I couldn't remember your fucking name. You probably don't know your name half the time. He's putting together some folks. I mean, we've got, it's just where it keeps growing. And actually, I've got a slot open in the 5 o'clock hour and maybe 6 o'clock hour if you guys want to come. I meant to tell you that already. It's November the 8th is our end of the year show. So if y'all want to play that one, I'd love to have y'all come out and play.
Let's see what we got on the calendar here.
I would love to, but I'm almost 90% sure I'm going to be in Vegas.
Well, shit. That just threw a monkey wrench in me already. What about you, Hunter?
I'm supposed to be at the fire hall that day.
Well, never mind. You see,
Well,
see,
he
this is
tried,
what
yeah.
happens. This is why you don't do shit like this on the show. Because I'm not
All
going
right.
to cut it, and everybody's going to be like, "They just didn't want to fucking play." I know
Hey,
that's
this is-
what,
yeah.
I know that's what listeners like. No, they just decided they didn't want to. They didn't like this guy so much.
No, man, we are grateful. I definitely want to be a part of it. You know, I don't really do a whole lot, and it's because I don't really know a whole lot of people. Hunter, you're talking about Hunter being a really nice guy. He absolutely is. I moved here to town 2 years ago, and I ran into him randomly out in Missouri. And whenever he saw I was moving out here, he didn't have to listen to my music or hit me up or anything like that. And he did. And he showed me around. He introduced me to a whole bunch of people. And yeah, he's the nicest dude ever. He's gotten me into all kinds of stuff like this stuff. And pretty much every writer's round I've done.
Hey, that's man, that's how it goes. Josh, like you just gotta, there's people that you just feel a certain way about, and you're like, yeah, man, I know that, maybe not a lot of people know you because you just moved here, you're new, but like you need to be part of this because you're special, and you need to, I need people to see you for that. And so like, if I can include you in any way, then I'm going to do it. That's how I felt about Kyle. So
See, fucking love you. You're not such a nice dude.
He's the best dude, man.
And by the way, you look like you've been in Nashville way longer than 2 years.
Me?
You look like if I was gonna make a country singer, it would definitely wouldn't look like Hunter. It would look like you.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
I don't know. Hunter's got this what's his name? From Tombstone. And it's I'm drawing
Doc Holliday.
Doc Holliday. You got this Doc Holliday thing going.
Yeah. Man, no shave November of 2021 has that's where it all came from. I didn't even know I could grow a mustache, and all the other firemen were like, "You can't grow a mustache. You can't grow a mustache." And I was like, "Well, we'll see what happens." And I've had it ever since then. So
isn't it weird when you start growing facial hair and you realize that what the hell was I doing beforehand?
Yeah. Well, they say it's a man's makeup, we look a lot different without facial hair, and I got to have something to make my jawline protrude a little bit more. I don't know.
I'm definitely fugly without. That's why
Yeah.
I just keep letting the beard get longer so it takes more notice off the rest of my face. Like I'm telling you, like I am a fugly individual. I look back at pictures of me in high school, and I look like a cancer patient because like I already was pale. Like I'm talking about sickly looking pale, and I don't know why. The sun does not like me whatsoever. But I started shaving my head when I was 16 for football. And it just never, and I already had a bad hairline by then anyway. Like I had a widow's peak at probably 15. There was no chance I was ever going to have hair in my life. And it just never came back. So all the pictures of me look like I'm athletic, but I'm pale. I'm bald. My lips are bigger than the rest of my face. Like it is, I just don't look well without facial hair at all.
Dude. Yeah. I did what they call a yeared. So you just grow your beard out for a year just to see how long it gets and what it looks like and stuff. I did that for a while, and then COVID hit. It was 2020, and quarantine happened, and I couldn't play shows. I was trying to figure out how to like stay relevant, make money and stuff. So I had a mullet back then. I turned myself into Tiger King. I shaved everything. I was doing all kinds of Tiger King content, and that went over really well. But I shaved everything except my mustache, and it's bad whenever your mom calls you and says, "Never again." She's like, "Never shave your face again." It's bad when your mom tells you that. Like,
it's funny. You just said Tiger King. I have this weird thing. I mean, everybody's got their weird shit in life that like, I don't know how to explain it. It's not like a tick or whatever. I don't even know what you would call it. But if somebody mentions something 3 times, like 3 different individuals mention something 3 times, like in a short time span, like I think that something's going to happen to that thing that they're talking about. So the guys yesterday out of nowhere we did a show with brought up Tiger King. You brought up Tiger King. If somebody else randomly brings up Tiger King without them knowing, I'm going to go ahead and say he's getting shanked in prison.
Yeah, that's a good guess.
Something bad is happening to that dude in the next week if somebody else says Tiger King to me. It never fails.
Yeah, he gets randomly pardoned or something. Like it's gonna be something ridiculous.
If he gets randomly pardoned, then my first offender felony from 18 needs to be fucking expunged. There's like I'm just telling you, there is no reason in this world why that asshole ought to get away or get pardoned and I can't.
I was trying to write jokes and stuff for my internet content, so I watched it like 8 times through, and I think near the end of that documentary, he was writing the president asking for pardons.
He was.
He's like continuously writing asking for pardons.
Yeah, well, there was something too on Trump's last day. He pardoned a lot of people,
Yeah.
but it was like his homies or some shit. I can't because one of them I just watched a documentary on. All I watch is documentaries and cartoons. I do.
Yeah.
I am a simple person. But there was some dude, and I can't remember who it was. I know exactly what it was. It was the mayor of Detroit who stole a massive amount of money from Detroit. And I don't even know why Trump pardoned him, but he definitely did. So I could have saw him doing Tiger King, and that probably would have pissed off everybody.
Oh my gosh.
Where are y'all originally from, by the way?
I'm from Kansas. I'm from a really small town in Kansas, almost Colorado, almost Oklahoma, the middle of wheat fields and dirt.
You're the first person I ever met from Kansas.
Really?
No shit. I don't think I've ever met anybody from Kansas.
Well, there's nothing out there, so
It's all right. I hate people, so I'd probably be happy.
no, it's great. I was telling somebody the other day about we were talking about like just going on vacation, escaping somewhere, and I was like, yeah, I can go out to southwestern Kansas, and they're like, yeah, just being surrounded by trees and stuff. I was like, no, there's no hills, there's no trees, there's only wind and dirt, and that's it. So
Yeah.
there's not many people that live out there. It's pretty empty.
Is it
Barren.
flat? Is it flatter than Texas?
Oh, dude, well, it's kind of the same area. So I'm only 3 hours from like Amarillo.
Okay.
So it's right there, like I'm right next to the Oklahoma Panhandle. And then right across that is Texas, and that whole area, eastern Colorado, southwestern Kansas, all that stuff. It's dead flat. There's no trees, there's no hills. It's as far as that people make a joke that if you lose your dog, just like spin in a circle and you'll see it somewhere out there.
First time I went to Texas like 2-3 years ago, it blew my mind how flat it was.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize how hilly Georgia was until you go somewhere like that, and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, I just took Nick DeLeo back to my hometown not long ago, and we landed in Denver. And there's this little tunnel as soon as you get out where there's 2 glass windows on either side. And out the right side was the Rocky Mountains, and out the left side was eastern Colorado. And he was like, "We're not going that way, are we?" It's like we're headed straight into the heart of that thing, dude.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Where are you from, Hunter?
So I'm from a town about 30 minutes south of Kansas City, Missouri. It's called Pleasant Hill. And yeah, a town of about 6 or 8,000 people. Just kind of your classic American small town. We had a Sonic, a McDonald's, and a Subway, and a grocery store. That's about it. We weren't ever good enough for a Walmart, so that kind of sucked. But yeah, that's where I'm from.
When we got Super Walmart here when I was in high school, everybody lost their fucking mind.
Oh, dude.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
now
you got to drive 30 miles to get to a Walmart where I'm from.
Jesus Christ. There is literally, if I was to stay, and I live in Cochran, it's very rural, very small town. I could walk out my door right now and throw a rock, and I'm going to hit 2 different dollar stores, a Dollar Tree, a Walmart, and then what's the other thing we got? A Food Depot, all within a mile of each other. Yeah, we don't have to go far for shit, but it makes our town look shitty though. Like it's just real weird. And we got the worst restaurants ever, besides for Scott's and DGR. Before y'all get mad at me and cuss me,
Yeah, shout out.
It's this small town shit. Let me tell you, I don't know how it is with y'all, but here, the people I grew up with, everybody wants something free. Like, or I don't know if when y'all have a show or whatever, like somebody's always wanting. I always want something. Nobody gave a shit about Josh Terry 8 years ago. And now all of a sudden, I throw all these honky tonk nights in Macon now. We just had Dylan Carmichael last weekend. That
And
dude is
Justin Dukes.
and Dukesy, boy, that's my baby right there.
I
That's
love
sweet.
that guy.
God, is he not a
God, I love
sweet
that guy.
angel?
He is. He's a sweet angel with a comb over, and I love it.
God, you know who makes him look like the biggest sinner of all time, though?
No,
Ethan Phillips.
Oh, okay.
Have you?
I don't know
you,
Ethan.
Oh, you haven't been around Ethan?
Uh-uh.
Ethan and Justin live together.
Oh, so okay. Couple
yes.
good.
Oh my
good
God,
fellas.
you just know they are doing Bible study every night of the week. They're so nice, but
They're going to bed early.
Oh, I promise you, they won't come out with Ethan. I've never seen Ethan drink a beer. He's ask Dukesy. This dude's an amazing songwriter, but he's monotone. I've never heard him raise his voice at all, even when he's singing. But he's so fucking good. Oh,
I see his name everywhere. It seems like he's on all kinds of different songs as a writer credit. Like
Yeah,
I've heard that guy's.
Yeah, look up his he posted a video on TikTok a couple months ago, and if I'm wrong about this, it's just because I don't know shit about James Taylor, because I do not know anything about James Taylor besides I like a couple of his songs, but he's still alive, right?
I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I think he is. But James Taylor shared Ethan singing one of his songs,
Wow.
and you would have thought that. I don't know who your guy is. I don't know who your favorite of all time. Oh yeah, he's still alive. God, he is fugly.
Is he clean shaven? Is that the problem?
Yeah, he is actually 100%. He's what I would look like if I was skinny and let the sides of my hair grow out. Yeah, he's not a good looking man. But who's y'all's guy? Like how Ethan shared and James Taylor blew up his shit or whatever and everything. Like who's y'all's number one?
I'm a huge Keith Whitley fan. We had this 5 CD changer that was in our living room, and we had Keith Whitley's greatest hits that was stuck in there. It would change all the other CDs, but that other one wouldn't come out. So that thing was played constantly.
So right here on my forearm, I don't know how good you can see it, is my Keith Whitley tattoo, my Kentucky Bluebird with the fringe rhinestone jacket and Keith Whitley's hair. He's my all time.
Dude,
I love Keith so fucking much.
Yeah, he's the best.
What about you, Mr. Hunter Thomas Mounce?
Man, mine's gonna sound basic, but I've got a lot of reason for it. I'm an Eric Church guy, man. I freaking love him so much. I've seen him probably at least 30 times in concert, and man, there's just so many reasons that I love him. I guess the first time I ever saw him, I got handed a free coupon at a different concert to go see Eric Church. And I was kind of looking at this coupon. I had the Chief logo on it, and I was like, man, I don't know if I want to go see this guy, But I was me and my girlfriend from high school. I decided to take her, and I was like, this guy is freaking amazing. I'm so glad I came to this show. And over the years, I've slowly stopped liking country radio more and more over the years.
I wonder why.
And he is like the only guy I feel like that's on country radio, one of the only guys that's on country radio that continues to still be creative, still be just bring something different to the table. And it's funny. I saw him back in August at an amphitheater outside of Chicago. And at this point, I've seen him so many times that I really wasn't even that excited about the show. And lo and behold, I go to the show, and he has something completely different than he's ever done before. It's called Outsiders Revival Tour. He had Cody Jinks open for him, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And also, he had a horn section, and he had 3 black ladies singing background vocals for him. So it was all Southern gospel kind of twist to all of his songs. Like Smoke a Little Smoke was like, keep back in the blues a spin, ooh, just everything.
What was it? Sorry, I couldn't cut out. What was the thing that they did?
No, I'm not gonna do it again.
I liked it. I liked it.
But it was just so
that was more Michael Jackson than Eric Church, bud.
No. That was I'm saying that's what the black ladies that were singing. That's how they were doing the background vocals.
Okay. Well, it would make sense if they sounded like Michael Jackson.
And it was just so cool and creative. And I was like, dude, that is still my dog. So that's my guy.
He is absolutely one of my favorites. That 60 Days in Church, the all the covers. I think he has my all-time favorite cover, and it wasn't even a song I had ever heard before. But 16th Avenue.
Dude,
Oh,
yeah.
I never had heard the song. I did not. And how that song isn't covered by every single musician out there. I ain't
I got
got
chills right now.
Yeah, dude, I've played it around musicians before, and they were like, "What the fuck is this?" And I'd be like, "This song came out like in the 70s or 80s by this woman," and like I'd never heard anything about it until I heard Church do it, and I love all of his stuff. That like what's the fucking one? Whenever the Leonard Skinner Jones is one of the best songs, best written songs I have ever heard in my life. But that whole little period that he went through with like a Crazy Land and all that kind of stuff, I love it.
He wrote he had Crazy Land come to him in a dream, and he like woke up and like wrote down the chorus.
That's insane.
Which is super cool. Yeah, man. I'm with you. There was some covers that I'd never heard on that whole series that he did. I really loved Jolene by Ray LaMontagne or whatever however you say his name. Whenever he did that, cocaine flame on a bloodstream. God, I'm like, yeah. He just anyway. That's my guy.
He's one of those people, man. And he's just an artist. Like it's hard to even like. I think it's a compliment to call some people a country artist, but then I think it's a bigger compliment to say they're an artist. Like they can do anything at all. And I feel like it doesn't matter what you put in front of him. There's a lot of people that try to do country music that are coming from a different realm, and you can always tell they started somewhere else. Like they'll have a poppy vibe or a rock vibe or something like that to it. But even when Eric does something different, you can still feel the country in him is the only way I know how to put it. Like you never have to guess. Like, this dude did country.
Yeah, I always bring up Eric Church as one of my like at least musical inspirations for that reason specifically. Yeah. I say that exactly that. And Brothers Osborne are kind of like that too. I don't think they do it as well as Eric Church, but they'll have some different stuff that they bring in, but it always it sounds like them. It sounds like country. But I think Eric Church is the biggest one. And I always bring up the song Cold One.
Oh yeah.
Dude, like it's just so out there and weird and different, but it's like so Eric Church and still country. Like
I'm sitting here thinking of ones that I've just vibed to so much from. These Boots is always probably going to be one of my favorites. I just haven't heard him put out a bad song to be like. Even I love Luke Bryan. I'm not Luke Bryan, but Luke Combs. I like the shit out of everything Luke Combs does, but it gets to a point to where this sounds like 3 songs ago.
Right. Yeah.
It's still good. I still love what you're doing, but it sounds like 3 songs ago. I've never heard Eric Church where I'm like, oh, this is repetitive. Like he's already done this.
I was just about to say, for somebody that I've seen probably over 30 times, I still have no idea what he's going to do next. Yeah. Zero idea what his next stuff is going to sound like. And when it comes out, I will be mind blown again because I'm like, I didn't see you go in that direction.
Have you heard the song that somebody recorded of him doing at the Grand Ole Opry a couple months ago that blew up?
No.
Okay.
I think I saw a TikTok of it or something like that.
Yeah, shit. It's one of those like, I know I've got it saved in my favorites. I'm just going to text it to you. It's one of those that's like, you really can tell that he takes his time. You can really tell that he loves what he does, and he's not going to be subpar about it. And that's kind of goes back to what I was saying to you earlier. Is like I like the people that chase the legacy, that want that 10-year song. I quote this way too much on the show, but I just love fucking Bobby Pinson so damn much. It's stupid. Like he's my dude. Like he's one of those that had no reason to befriend me. And he's just been a mentor and cool as shit to me. But when we were at Seagale recording the show with him the first time, he says on there, he said, you got to write one great song before you write a lot of good ones. And I think a lot of people go backwards with that. I think a lot of people try to just get noticed right off the bat with something that's popular instead of pouring their heart and soul into their first big project or their first thing they release. And usually, if you think about it, even what you're talking about, your listens from 2017, Like, I think if you go about it that way, people get to discover the real you.
Yeah.
And like, even with this show, the reason why we don't sit here and do it like an interview the whole time, and it's really us talking shit, is because I want the listeners to meet you. Like,
Yeah.
meet you through me. How, if we were sitting at a bar, I think literally what we say in the description of the show now is, imagine sitting at a bar with a complete stranger having some beers, and by the time you both get up, you got a new best friend.
Yeah.
Like, I want people to dive into the artist, and the only way that they do that, if you're not doing a show like this, is to put stuff that identifies so much with you out there. Like, and that In Color, I mean, Jamie Johnson had several songs before that, and I think that some of them are good. But if you ask most people, they're going to say Jamie Johnson's first single was In Color, because they don't know no better. But that's the song that related and identified with, that still to this day, 20 years later, it's all everybody wants to hear from him.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is this song at? I know I have it. I know.
Lonely at the Top. Is that Jamie Johnson?
Man,
I think so.
I didn't even realize that I knew his first single, but I didn't even know it was him until way later on. It was
The Dollar.
The Dollar. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's about the little kid coming up to his dad and giving him money, and he's like, "How much time will this buy me?"
Right. Yeah.
It's like, good God.
Yeah.
Yeah, think about that. Think about how many artists you got introduced to on one of those somber, sad, slow songs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's usually, I mean, that's that one. And everybody, I really do believe this. I believe that everybody has a great song in them. Even if you don't write music, I believe that everybody has a great song in them, because you're the only one that's lived your life.
Right.
You're the only one that can tell your story, or a story from your life, from that perspective, from that experience. And the second you take that and you turn it into a song, it's gonna resonate with people. And I just don't feel like it. The dude is blowing up everywhere right now, that I like the guy. I just think he just leaves some shit out. That Oliver Anthony dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, right time, right place, but he did a relatable song.
Right.
I mean, that's it. Like, there are certain people, like country music fans, I think most of the world, tired of hearing generic shit.
I'll be curious to see, because I do like him and I do like that song, and I like he's only got like 7 or 8 songs out.
Yeah.
And they're all kind of in that vein where it's just him and a guitar, and he's talking about, just hard times and stuff. But I'll be curious to see the trajectory of his career. Is it going to be just kind of this moment that's already passed, or is he going to take that success and just snowball it into, something crazy big? Like, we know there's examples of both kinds of artists, where somebody will pop off with something, and then it'll just that'll be it. That was the moment. But then there's other people that, man, I hate to use this example, but I'm going to. When I first heard Taylor Swift, I was like, oh yeah, she's like kind of the young teenager heartthrob. Like, she's popular right now, but like, that's going to burn out at some point. Like, she's not going to be the young, brand new thing anymore. And lo and behold, you look at her now, and it's like, dude, she's probably top 10 most famous people in the world. I'm not saying that Oliver Anthony's going to do that, but like, is he going to build some kind of crazy legacy like she did, or is it just kind of this moment in time, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Well, now she's so famous because she's dating Travis Kelce. Like, she's getting a lot of her fame from he's bringing her up.
Yeah, he's the best tight end in the league. He really put her on the map.
Yeah. I read earlier today where her documentary that came out last week at the movies, and the first weekend it did X amount of millions. Last weekend it did $36 million on a documentary about a singer. Like, it's gonna reach.
That's still alive.
Yeah, and she's young.
Right.
Like, people forget, like, this bitch ain't even lived yet. I think I'm older than she is. I'm 36. I think I'm older than she is.
You are.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to say it like that. You have to be like, yeah, you are.
You are.
You're good. No, I think with him, I really do think he screwed up. I think he did. I think him not taking those offers when he could, I think he's going to regret it in a year's time because I mean, I hate to say it because the dude seems like he's super nice, nice. But who gets screwed over the first? The nice guy. All right. And I understand what he's doing. Like, I love the fact he reads his Bible on stage. I love all that kind of stuff or whatever. The more you can put the Lord's name out there. I mean, I ain't the best Christian ever, but when I get a chance to talk about God, I talk about God. And I love that he does that. But he's going to come to that crossroads that a lot of musicians are at. That, man, how am I going to pay for this if I'm not taking deals? Like, I mean, that one song, I don't care what you say. I can't really think of another one. Maybe Bop. Y'all remember Hanson and Bop?
Hanson, dude, yeah.
Yeah, you remember them taking over the fucking world with that?
I don't know. I would say Gangnam Style was pretty big too.
Yeah, that's trash. But like Hanson's anybody. That's actually that song is gonna be stuck in my head the rest of the day now.
Yeah, dude.
But I really can't sit there and tell you a time that a song like that is took off, and there's no way to replicate it. There's no way to replicate the success from that song. Like, I like the one, that one's not even my favorite one of his. I like the one talking about it's a 90-something Chevy or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Turn her on. Oh, yeah, that's a good song.
Yeah, that's a great song.
I like the one Doggone It. It's like people eating bugs because they won't eat bacon. Doggone it.
Oh, yeah.
That's my favorite, dude.
I don't even think I've listened to that one.
Oh my God. It's great.
Yeah. But he kind of annoyed me. Do y'all know about the Cotton Eye Joe's thing in Knoxville?
Yeah.
Is that where they were charging a certain thing and he like canceled the show because they were overcharging?
Yeah.
Is that the deal?
Yeah, that's the side of the story that he says. The side that he doesn't say is what he charged the venue to book him.
He probably charged them $500,000 for the show.
It was $120,000.
Oh, that's low. I figured it would.
It was 100. It was 120 from what I think I read on Whiskey Rift. It was 120, and it's like, okay, you're right. Like, that's not a ridiculous number for a performance that's all over the fucking internet and everything else.
No, it's not bad.
But when you're at a place like that, no venue, no owner of whatever is doing something out of the kindness of his heart. If he's not breaking even, why is he doing it? Like, he's not going to take a huge loss just so people can come in there and listen to Richmond, north of Richmond.
Right. So I just ran the numbers, and to break even, they would have had to charge $40 a ticket because 3,000 people which is how much it holds. $40 a ticket, that equals 120,000. So
okay, well, maybe not. Maybe it wasn't that bad then.
Well, but $40, that's them absolutely breaking even completely. They're probably going to want to make.
Yeah, they can't stay open if they break even.
Yeah, and it was supposedly a night too where they weren't even supposed to be open, allegedly. Yeah. Where they opened it specially for that thing. And I think they were charging $90 for tickets.
Yeah,
I think is what it was.
I don't have a problem with the owner doing it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't nobody bitching at Morgan Wallen for charging $800 a fucking ticket. Everybody's paying that shit.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not. Yeah, I will pay my mortgage that much. I am definitely. But I get it. I mean, even with Taylor Swift, dude, if you can make it, if somebody's gonna pay it, we might sit here and bitch about it because we'd never pay it. But there's some little teeny bopper or whatever. They're gonna pay it and be happy about it.
Yeah.
Hell,
ask for dad's money and have dad pay for it.
Did you hear that there's a bunch of the Taylor Swift fangirls that will literally wear Depends so that they don't have to leave their seat. They'll just piss their pants while they're at the concert so that they don't have to miss a moment of the show.
Doesn't surprise me.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's be real. They were going to get drunk and piss themselves anyway. So yeah, now it's just not trickling all over themselves or in a bed somewhere.
Listen, I wasn't surprised. I was thinking how good of an idea that is.
Absolutely. No. I about need them. I'm telling you, like it's gonna. I've had to back off my drinking so much in the past year because it was getting to where every 30 minutes when I drank, or even quicker, I had to go piss. Like, I know I was ruining something.
Dude, I saw your post where you said that you pretty much cut down your, cutting loose to about 1 day a week, and I saw your fitness stuff too. I just wanted to say I'm super happy for you because it's not easy in this business to to do something like that. Like there's literally an opportunity every single day to go get hammered, and so I'm super happy for you on that.
Well, the fitness shit didn't last.
Oh, it didn't?
Dude, everything started hurting. I know that's not a good excuse, but I don't need to be physically fit to do this job. And I'm single and I'm happy. I don't do bad in the women department. So until like something health wise comes up, I'm gonna try to stay in the weight that I'm at or close to it health wise. But yeah, fuck that. I mean, I was 330 pounds at one point in time in my life. My body is like, you're doing fine. You're doing fine, Bubba. But yeah, dude, it is hard because back when I was broke and didn't have shit going for me in this world, I couldn't have walked into a bar and get a free drink from anybody. Now, if I'm hosting a show in Nashville, you can damn bet that for those 6 hours or 4 hours, however long we're at Live Oak, there's going to be somebody every 10, 15 minutes bringing me a beer, bringing me a shot.
Yep.
I literally have to pregame for that the rest of the month. Like I have to, because I don't want to be disrespectful. And I know that when people come out to the show, they want to party. They know that there's going to be really good country music there. They know that sometimes we'll have like surprises. And if it is a surprise, like somebody who's not country, it's somebody like Saving Abel or somebody like that, where it's still is somebody really good, somebody notable or something that even if it ain't country, they know there's going to be fun ass women there. And they know there's gonna be drinking and partying. Like I really do want when people come to one of our shows that it feels like what I can imagine Nashville was in the 80s.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's what I want. I want it to be real fucking country music, real wild, but still. I mean, I love sad songs. I love that atmosphere, but also I know it's got to be a party to go along with it. So that's what let's try to brand it. And the bad thing with all that is when you mix all that shit together, everybody wants to drink with me, and it got out of hand. I was going up there, and I have to be up there usually for about 1 week out of every month recording with shows, for just with anybody. But it's where that whole week from the time I got there, when I would post on social media, we're headed to Nashville. Somebody'd be like, "Hey man, tonight at Losers, tomorrow at Red Door. Let's go to Music City on Monday." And it's like, shit, I just can't. I've learned to say no. And I feel better. It took me, I embarrassed myself the first time I was up there with work stuff. I really did. And it weighed on me for a while. But I went to a writer's round that I think Vaden was hosting. And he had Ashley McBride, Aaron Lewis, and Dylan Carmichael at the end of the show.
At the local?
It was at Live Oak.
Okay.
And I'm sitting fucking 5 feet in front of Ashley McBride, and I'm a huge fan of all three of them, but I love Aaron Lewis and Ashley McBride. And I got fucking tanked. I'm talking about shit canned. And when we got done, Vaden introduced me to Ashley, and I had a story from when I worked in radio about her, and I was telling her, and that turned into me getting this close to Ashley McBride's face for a good 10, 15 minutes. And I know I was getting on her nerves. And if I'd have been sober, I wouldn't have done it. Like nobody ever said anything bad about it or whatever. But it's just like, if you're going to be around this kind of stuff, you got to behave a certain way. And so I kind of backed off of that. Then would just hang out with my buddies when I went up there. And dude, it gets to be too much.
I feel you, dude. I have a lot of regrets from the stuff I used to do when I would go out, just getting absolutely hammered. And I know some people probably saw me do some obscene things at Losers for sure in the Dirty Dancing department.
It happens, man.
Yeah.
But I'm ruined. I'm ruined though, because like my favorite artists or people I look up to were always the outlaws. We're always the wild person. So like that's what I thought for the longest time you had to be. I thought you had to act like George Jones every time you fucking went out if you wanted people to know who you are. And then this is what was one of my come to Jesus meetings. I had Georgette Jones on the show earlier this year after the show on Showtime and shit went off. So, and she told me something. And then Johnny Paycheck's son told me about a month or two later when we did a show with him, he's like, you got to remember, or she told me, she said, you got to remember all the things you idolize my dad for are the things that traumatized me growing up.
Damn.
And I was like, fuck. She was like, George didn't even like that shit. He just like to have a good time, but he definitely didn't want to be known for being no show. He
Yeah.
didn't want to be known for that. So that was kind of one of those things. Is like, yeah, I don't have to be this person. I can back off of it. I don't have to be this guy.
Yeah. Well, something interesting about that, I'll say, is so I haven't really been drinking since about June, and I was so worried about what people were going to say to me, like, "Oh, dude, you're being a bitch. Like, you're not going to party with us tonight. You know, how dare you?" Dude, nobody gives a shit what you're doing.
They
Like,
don't care.
everybody is living their own life and has their own set of problems, and they'll just go, "Oh, okay, no worries." And the thing that I feared for years about slowing down was that people were going to like ostracize me. Dude, nobody gives a damn.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it was a hard thing for me. I had it in my head that if I'm not the party boy, that everybody's just going to turn away. It's the complete opposite happened. People saw that I was more professional, and they wanted to work with me more. Used to, if you go listen, we've done, I think we're on like 460, 470 shows now. You go back and you listen to one to about 250, 300. And I'll guarantee you 90% of them I'm drunk. 90% are drinking while doing them. And I just got accustomed to it. And then I finally was like, I'm not doing this shit no more. I don't need to do this shit no more. I want to be an old ass man. Like Keith Whitley's awesome, you know, but I don't want to die. I don't want to die in my 30s. I don't want to drink myself to death just because of country music, you know. But anyway.
Well, hey, I was going to ask you, isn't it weird to do something for the first time where you were always drunk prior to that? Like for me, playing on Broadway, for example.
Yeah.
I had never played on Broadway where I wasn't drunk because that's just what you do down there. Everybody buys you drinks and that's just the thing. And finally one day I was like, I'm going to do this without drinking at all. And I was like, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be awful, whatever. It was a great time. And I was like, man, I feel like I sounded better. I feel like I had a more professional attitude. And yeah, it's like when you get over those hurdles and you do something sober for the first time, it's like, why was I building that up in my head like it was going to be so lame? You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just kind of a cool thing to learn.
You thought people were going to think you're lame. Me and you got a mutual buddy, and I'll tell you off air, so I don't tell you his secret. He will get a beer. He'll drink one beer if he drinks that one. And then, like, especially when he's at Live Oak where the water cooler is or anywhere it's got water, he'll wait till nobody's paying him attention. He'll walk over there. He'll fill up that beer bottle with water, and it gives off. He's got a beer in his hand. He's having a good time, so nobody treats him different. He doesn't have to think about anybody treating him different, but he's drinking water the whole time. And like I think that's just something that's in all of our heads that we want to fit in with it so bad. But the second you realize that you really don't matter to anybody, like to your friends wise, nobody's going to judge you if you don't want to get hammered. Nobody. No. Like once you get out of your own way with that, it's a cakewalk, man.
Yeah, it's so funny. I played downtown a lot, and my band, whenever I first moved, we all moved together. Like we met each other here, but we all moved kind of at the same time. And whenever we were playing together, we were just because we didn't really know the dynamic, we always held each other accountable for like not finishing a drink, or like we would be like I'd have to finish my beer because they're drinking, and then eventually we all kind of found out we didn't want to drink that much every time we played because we get like a couple of weeks ago some dude bought 50 shots of Jim Beam for us. Yeah, we're really good at selling Jim Beam and Busch Light, and but this like every time I might be giving our secret away here, but every time we get like buckets and buckets of Busch Light, we'll take like maybe 2-3 swigs and make it look like we're drinking a lot, and then throw away like 3/4 of a beer and then just move on to the next one.
It's already paid for. It don't matter.
Yeah. But we try and sell it that way, where it's like we're not really drinking that much, but we make it look like we are.
Well, you're having a good time, and everybody they just want to join in. That's the thing with buying beers, buying shots. They want to be part of the good time,
right?
And as long as you're putting on the good time, regardless if you're drunk or sober, they're not going to give a shit.
No. Yeah, they're just trying to be nice to you. They're trying
Yeah.
to give you something for free that costs a lot downtown. It's freaking $9 for a damn Coors Light at Tootsie's now. Another reason I won't step foot in that place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest. If I go to Broadway, it's because I'm chasing a fat ass and some tits, to be honest with you. I'm not outside of that. I do not want no part of that shit no more. And I've come to find out the women that go to writers' rounds, I like way more anyway than them just blah. They might look good, but they ain't got nothing going on between their ears, boy.
Well, I hang out with a couple of 24-year-olds. They're the dudes in my band, and they're all about nothing between the ears. So
Yeah.
we usually end up at AJ's late at night.
I
Do
like
you,
AJ's. That's the only one I like because Blaine Bunning. I don't know if y'all know Blaine. He's my boy.
Yeah.
I fucking love B, and I'll go there to watch him. But besides that, I don't much care.
Have you been to Robert's Western World?
Yeah, I've ate fucking bologna sandwich after
Dude.
bologna sandwich in that bitch, boy.
Do not sleep on Robert's Western World. I mean, it is packed in there, but
Yeah.
I freaking love that bar so much, and I'm so glad that they have not changed a thing about it. You know, I'm dreading the day where it becomes freaking, you know,
It's
somebody's
coming.
bar. Like
It's coming.
I know it. It's just one of the
Bailey
original.
Zimmerman's.
Yeah.
Well, as
Yeah.
soon as Chiefs opens and as soon as Garth's open, every single body else is going to have an investment group behind them.
Yeah.
They're definitely.
I've seen all the construction, but I didn't even know Bon Jovi had a bar.
I didn't know Bon Jovi had a bar.
It's behind Losers. There was a big parking lot, and they've been doing a bunch of construction behind Losers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, that's Bon Jovi's bar.
It's the shape of an L. I thought it would be Smash Mouth's bar because shape of an L or forehead.
Loser.
All right.
Lo and behold, it's Bon Jovi.
Wow,
Yeah,
what a
R.I.P.
horrible reference. That is good. The only one I'm excited about opening is Hasten and Dave and them Live Oak down there. I know that's where we're going to be probably moving the show to. I'm excited about that. But it's what's it on Second? It's right on the riverfront.
Dude, that's gonna be epic. Is it like where the George Jones bar was, or what bar is it?
Okay. If I'm right, and I've seen pictures of it that he showed me. It's overlooking the water, so it's got to be the road that is closest to the river.
It's got to be the Hard Rock side.
Yes.
Yeah. So there was Famous in Nashville that closed down.
It's probably there.
Dude, they have a great stage.
It is.
Yeah.
Honestly, that would be right up. That would be right up Hazen's alley to take a bar that was previously unsuccessful, that's already got a great setup, and turn it into something. Because that's how. Do you remember when Frisky Frogs was?
I never saw it.
Dude, you'd walk by it, you'd look in the place, and there would be one person, and you're like, that bar is so freaking sick. Why is nobody ever in there? And then he turns into Live Oak, and then it becomes something. And Famous was the same way. You go in, it has this epic, probably $100,000 plus screen behind the stage, and you just send them your logo.
Yeah.
And then it'll be up on the screen behind you. So it's already like a mini Wild Horse. Super, super nice bar. But for whatever reason, nobody goes in there. And I could just see, if that is the bar, I could just see him turning it into like the place.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I hope it's that place.
I hope it is too. Well, guys, drop your social media and let's get out here. Plug the song one more time. Tell them to go download it. By the way, tell them to download your whole catalog. Anything else?
Yeah.
A song from 2017. Tell them to go listen to.
Hell yeah. Well, on all my social media, it's going to be Hunter T Mounce. It's like bounce with a on it. So it's going to be Hunter T Mounce. And yeah, I've got about 25 songs out. I've got 2 different albums out. One came out this year. One came out back in 2017. Got a bunch of songs you can binge on if that's your cup of tea. And then yeah, Kyle.
Yeah. Kyle Austin Music on pretty much everything. I have an album called Outlaw that I recorded, produced, and played all the instruments on myself back in 2020. And then Collard Greens, another song, Get Out of Dodge, that came out in February this year. And then I just released a song October 18th called Bad Luck that I also produced myself. And Collard Greens, go stream Collard Greens.
Hell yeah. Well, dudes, let's make sure next year when they're setting up our new schedule at the new Live Oak and everything, that I get you guys on it.
Yes,
so,
for sure.
I know this was last minute for November 8th, but let's definitely try to get y'all on some stuff next year.
Please, man.
I would
to.
love that.
Cool.
Nothing more than that. So
Cool. Well, thank y'all for hanging out with me for a little bit. I appreciate it. And thank each and every one of y'all for listening to the Josh Terry podcast. I will holler at y'all later.